Hey y'all, so here's a little red cedar that I cut at my dad's house back during Christmas time, and needed to get it out of the way. It was, in a spot that he didn't really need it to be, and so I went ahead and took it and decided that I would try to turn it into a bow. And as you can see, it's got places where limbs and stuff were stuck out all over it. I don't know that I can make it bow, but we're gonna try it out. So y'all stick with me, and we'll see if we can get it. So those of you that have done work on bows before, you might have noticed anytime that you have something like this, like where a limb is coming out, or a knot, anything like that that's in your stave, what can generally happen is on the back side of either side of that knot, as you're going through, you'll get some tear out. And so up here, getting into this big knot right here, and rather than letting it just tear out, what I'm gonna do is probably take my saw and saw through it. And then the closer you get to the finished product, what I've learned, which, I don't have a lot of experience with this, but what I've learned is you can take a rasp and rasp it down in those areas instead of your draw knife, and it won't tear out so bad. I will say this is my first time working really any wood other than hickory, and this works a lot easier than hickory, aside from this particular stave having so many little limb knobs and stuff coming off of it that you got to work around. But it's a lot softer wood, and it's kind of like hickory where the grain kind of intertwines a little bit, so you don't get it coming off in sheets like you do with Osage, but not terrible. It's not terrible. Right now I'm just trying to smooth out this side that I think I'm gonna make this the back of the bow. And I wanna make sure that it's got a good, clean, smooth surface to put a backing on it. because not necessarily from my experience, but from the research I've done, eastern red cedar, which is a juniper, has to have a backing on it, or else you have chances of it splintering out. And especially with this bow with all these knots and everything in it, I'm definitely going to want to put a backing on this bow. So I want to make sure that I have a good flat surface to work with whenever it comes to putting. Probably going to do a big piece of rawhide or something like that. As you can see, I still got a lot of knobs and stuff to work on down here. This would be a lot quicker with power tools like a, oh man, if I had a bandsaw, whew, that'd be great. Maybe one day I'll make enough money on YouTube to be able to buy a bandsaw. Like I said, this is just an experimental bow. I honestly don't know if I'm going to be able to make it bow or not. Okay, we kind of got the back of the bow pretty flat. Able to see a little bit more about my dimensions and everything now, the way that we got it. And what I'm thinking is pretty close to the center of this bow is this knot right here. And I think I might want to use this knot as my arrow rest, just to add some character. So I'm gonna make this the center of the bow right here. So I just take a little piece of charcoal stick here, and I'm going to mark this as the center. I like using charcoal because it comes off easy. I'm gonna mark that as the center, and then I'm gonna get some measurements on this thing so that I can figure out exactly what kind of dimensions we can work with. Pretty much I'm going to hold about the same width from the center of the bow out, maybe 12 inches each side, and then start tapering down to about a ½ inch at the end. So that's what we're going to try for. I've been working on the bow for a few days, and it's starting to look more like a bow. Here's the little knob that I was talking about using for an arrow shelf. I'm going to finish this up a little bit better as we go along. But the limbs are already starting to bend just a little bit. And so what I'm going to do now is go ahead and back it with some leather. And so what I have here for that is some deer hide that I tanned last year. I egg tanned and then put some smoke on it to make it waterproof. And I'm going to cut strips out of this to cover the back of the bow. And I'm just going to put it on there with some tight bond. That's what I have available. So I'm going to cut some strips off of this, rehydrate them, let them sit for about an hour in water, and then I'm going to back the bow with the glue, lay this down on top of it, and then wrap it in an ace bandage and let it cure over a couple of days, and then we'll start the tillering process, and I'll get with you on that. Okay, well, I've been working on this bow a little bit. As you can see, we put the leather backing on it the other day. I trimmed that off on the sides with my knife. Been doing the tillering work on it, and I actually shot the bow earlier today, so it's almost done. The handle is still pretty roughed out, so I'm going to work a little bit with this file here and get some of that worked out, and then my wife is actually going to paint the back side of this before I seal it off, so we'll see how that's going to turn out. But overall, so far, it does bow and it does shoot, so hopefully it will continue, and I'm just going to start working a little bit on this handle. All right, well, this brings us to the end of our video for today, and we're right back to where we started. So if you look down to the ground right here, this is actually the top of this bow. I cut it out of this little spot here. My dad has now put a blind there now that there's not another third cedar tree growing right there. And I wanted to do this because this all started around Christmas time. And so kind of instead of being a present under the tree, this is a present in the tree. So my dad doesn't know this yet, but I'm actually going to give him this bow while we're here this weekend. And so we're going to go ahead and get a shot out of it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. Thanks guys for watching, and we will see y'all next time.